Okay, well, you know what? I was going to cut this in, but it seems as though it's nicer to figure everything out and get light fixtures down and that kind of thing. I'm going to try to figure this out because really there's no like set screws to pull this trim off. And Tony, you were saying maybe unscrew this top thing here, the glass, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe it's got threads on it, and it seems like it does. And it's metal, or it's glass, not plastic. And look at that.
Voila.
It did have threads on that. That's pretty cool. Never really seen that before on a glass one.
No set screws.
Okay, so now I can, it looks like there's some screws here with an Allen wrench. I have to get an Allen wrench, and I think that's going to be my best bet. Actually, no, I don't think I have to do that. I take the two light bulbs out, and I see where there's two screws there, and I can loosen those up and then swivel this. Tony, I think I'm going to take that down. I need a Phillips screwdriver. And is there, oh, you know what? I got it right here in my pocket. Let's just keep the camera rolling, shall we? Oh, you know what? I don't think these just unscrew.
What, the bulbs?
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're going to have to turn the light off. Let's turn the light off. I don't want to shock myself. Yeah, I would have thought there was a socket here, but it doesn't really... Well, okay, here. Oh, it's the little prongers. It's got ends on it because the end wasn't a big socket. So there's two fat prongs. You just twist it.
Kind of like an old fluorescent bulb.
I've seen those, and I don't do this every day, so...
It's like the old fluorescent bulb.
I just turn it a little bit, and you can see how to put that in later. That's kind of a slick deal. And then there's two screws here. Because see, I saw these other screws. So every light fixture, is every light fixture created equal? No. You always got to kind of pull things apart and kind of look there and take a meander before you start doing something to it. Okay, now these screws I shouldn't have to take off all the way because I can see there's a little slide in there. And now that's loose from the ceiling. Now I can swivel this around. And voila. Just like that. It pops down like that. Now I've got the wires here. It's in a little pancake box. And because make sure you have a light switch off, which I did. Okay, now I got the wire nuts here. So all I have to do is undo the wire nuts. And I just have to remember how to put things back here, ground to ground, black to black, white to white. Very simple. Simple Simon. Okay. And then do these wire nuts. Pull that off. And then I'm just going to put the little cap back on here if it goes. Now it doesn't look like it's going, but we'll get this down first. Okay. There's my light fixture. And we don't have to cut in around that. Isn't that nice? You don't have to mess with that. Now you just have to remember that these wires up here are going to be hot if you turn the light switch back on. And so you want to get the wire nuts back on there. Get them on there kind of snug. You don't want to overdo it because you could strip it. Because remember we had two sets of wires coming off of there. And now the inside of the threads here is just a hair. It could be just a hair bigger now, but those wires that came off were stranded wires, so this is fine. It's still holding, okay? I can just kind of push that up out of the way. Now if I happen to turn that light switch on by accident, I know this is not going to shock itself up here. It's not touching any metal or anything like that. There, just like that. And besides, you saw how big that light fixture was. Now this was the light fixture that came with the house, okay? And Tony's thinking maybe later on down the road he doesn't want this big light fixture here. Maybe he'll figure out he wants something different. Well, that's another good reason not to cut this in, right? Now we've got it out. We can paint this whole thing, and then I'll be real careful to put this up after the paint dries and cures all the way before I snug this up. That way, if he pulls this down later, if he's got a smaller light fixture, it's all painted. Voila, we are ready to rock and roll.